What is good, my people, my peeps? How are you guys doing on this lovely Sabbath? Welcome in, welcome in. Look, I'm going to need my people to open their eyes. That's right. Especially my people, my peeps. Okay. I know y'all see the title. I got to go back and readjust that. In a rush, trying to get this up. It's Job Corps, not Corps. Job Corps has shut down. When? When do you say? Effective immediately. Effective immediately. My goodness. There's so much I want to say, but I want to stay on track and out because I want to have my people open their eyes. Because it is said that the Most High says his people, they die from the lack of knowledge. Y'all perish from the lack of doggone knowledge. You should be in this realm, looking and observing, taking notes and moving accordingly. Okay? No matter who is in office. I have told you all before. Yes, you're going to get the spill. Mama's talking. Sit down and listen. That's right. And for the rest of you, the godmother's in the building. All right? Yes. All right? Yes. Uh-huh. Okay. Yes. Yes. No matter who's in office, you're supposed to be observing. I've told you guys, I haven't voted since Obama. Okay? So this is not about me wanting to be on one side or the other. I know the game is rigged. That's right. The game is rigged. So, with you diehard supporters of Trump, you perish from the lack of knowledge, especially if you don't have billions of dollars. You diehard Trumpians, MAGA supporters, and black MAGA supporters, Blackians. I don't know what to call y'all. The black side of Trumpsters. You perish from the lack of knowledge. Somebody is lying to you, and it ain't me. I ain't got a dog in the race, okay? But I'm showing up here to talk to you guys about what's going on, especially if you ain't got billions to millions of dollars. You want to keep your eyes closed and think that everything is everything when everything around you is screaming otherwise. Now, trust me, I give you positive messages, but I'm gonna keep it real too. I keep you motivated, but I don't lead. I'm not a pied piper. I'm not gonna play beautiful music just so you can follow me. Okay? Now I know I had heard Trump talk about trade schools and we need more trade schools because this is, the way Harvard is a waste of money. Basically going to college, especially Harvard, those Ivy League schools are a waste of money. He mentioned Harvard. I remember hearing him say Harvard, right? In actuality, they're not talking about Harvard. They talking about just regular college. I told you guys, we are not in the industrial age anymore. We have surpassed the industrial age. But for the blind, leading the blind, and don't know anything about history, you are doomed to repeat it. What you say, I said what I said. You are doomed to repeat it. We are in the technology age. But Trump, in many of his speeches and many of his caught on camera moments, he has talked about the industrial age. Okay? We are not there, but he's trying to take you back. And for the ones who have so much hate in their hearts, they think that a certain group of people are going to be taken back to the fields, if you will. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Boo, boo the DJ coming out of the DJ in the White House. Boo the dang on DJ, because he's hoodwinking you. He wants the industrial age to come back, but it simply is not coming back, okay? But they're going to force the hand. They're going to force the hand. So let's get into the reports. Now, Trump has mentioned, the industrial age, going back to factory work, basically. And well, who's going to work in these factories? I'm telling you guys that there is a sinister plan at hand. Okay? And some of you all just do not realize it. And I'm really shocked, really, truly, with a lot of Black Trumpians. That's what I'm gonna call y'all, Black Trumpians. I'm really shocked that y'all can't see the hand at play, because y'all acting like it's a football team, and that's your choice. Okay, that's what y'all act like. Y'all act like y'all rooting for the Ravens or the Dallas Cowboys or something, and y'all got to hold on to a team instead of breaking free and speaking the truth. Okay? Let's get back to somebody lying, because effective immediately, all Job Corps were shut down. But why would Job Corps be shut down, you may ask yourself, if Donald Trump has been saying, oh yeah, trade schools are good. And to let you know, Job Corps is a trade school for people who are wayward, on their way to the streets, but they have a little hope to turn their life around, or they could just have no other options and don't want to go that route, and have chosen, or their parents chose trade school for them. I'm a witness. I'm a witness, and I'm gonna get those parents that chose trade school for their children instead of the streets. Here you go. That was a hand clap for you, baby. I'm a witness. I'm on that team. We're gonna talk today. How is it that Trump has said, yes, let's have trade schools, but all of a sudden, riddle me this, all trade schools are shut down? Now, I'm going to bring the receipts. Here we go. Go ahead, Trump.
I'd like to see the money go to trade schools, where people learn how to fix motors and engines, where people learn how to build rocket ships, because somebody has to build those rocket ships. Yeah. And I'd like to see trade schools set up, because you can take $5 billion plus hundreds of billions more, which is what's spent, and you could have the greatest trade school system anywhere in the world. And that's what we need to
pause. Y'all hear that? Yep. In the background. This clip was taken when Trump took office, and his buddy Elon Musk, can't trust, standing right beside him, yipping with his black eye. Remember that? Looked like he got beat down before he got in and went to the White House, in the global, what's that room called? The global room, where they do all the press conferences, presidential suite. He bobbing his head, yep, trade schools, but we want to pick the trade schools. Basically, is the message you're gonna get here. Let's continue.
Build his rockets and robots and things that he's doing, and to build lots of other things. And I went to school with people. In some cases, they weren't good students, but they could fix the engine of a car better than anybody I've ever seen. They could take it apart blindfolded. They had an ability at that. and they did very well. They made a lot of money. It's a very skilled job. It's great. But I'd like to see a lot of money going into trade schools. I've always felt that. And we probably found our pot of gold, and that's what's been wasted at places like Harvard. And the money's been wasted. I'd like to see the money go to trade schools where people learn how to fix motors and engines, where people learn how to build rocket ships. Because, somebody has to build those rocket ships. Yeah. And I'd like to see trade schools set up, because you could take 5 billion plus hundreds of billions more, which is what's spent. And you could have the greatest trade school system anywhere in the world. And that's what we need to build his rockets and robots and things that he's doing, and to build lots of other things. And, I went to school with people. In some cases, they weren't good students, but they could fix the engine of a car better than anybody I've ever seen. They could take it apart blindfolded. They had an ability at that. And they did very well. They made a lot of money. It's a very skilled job. It's great. But I'd like to see a lot of money going into trade schools. I've always felt that. And we probably found our pot of gold, and that's what's been wasted at places like Harvard. And the money's been wasted.
Now, y'all heard him.
To see the money
hold on, Trump. Y'all heard him. I played it twice, just so you can make sure you heard. It's the beginning of the year, beginning of his presidential seat in office, and he had his bobblehead standing beside him, Elon Musk, nodding and agreeing. They want y'all in them factories that's killing people and over there in Missouri. Where his factory at? It's in the news right now. They're killing the residents because it's pumping out all kind of toxins. Right now. They want people to work, but they want them in specific positions and to use you for specific job duties. Trump. Do y'all know? I mean, are y'all aware of microaggressions? Do y'all know what that word means? I need y'all to look up microaggressions, especially my Black Trumpians, because y'all don't know how these folks speak in code. And obviously, a lot of my Black Trumpians have never worked in a corporate setting as a Black person. And I mean that because I can tell, because you would have picked up on the microaggressions that came out of his mouth while he sat in the White House. What you just heard. If you know a microaggression, put it in the comments. Put down the microaggression that you heard in Trump's speech. Because you Black Trumpians, y'all just bumping your gums. Y'all act like y'all rooting for a football team. And you the people he talking about in this microaggression. I'm going to run it back for you Black Trumpians so you can pick it out and put it in the chat.
I'd like to see the money go to trade schools where people learn how to fix motors and engines, where people learn how to build rocket ships. Because, somebody has to build those rocket ships. Yeah. And I'd like to see trade schools set up, because you could take 5 billion plus hundreds of billions more, which is what's spent. And you could have the greatest trade school system anywhere in the world. And that's what we need, to build his rockets and robots and things that he's doing, and to build lots of other things. And, I went to school with people. In some cases, they weren't good students, but they could fix the engine of a car better than anybody I've ever seen. They could take it apart blindfolded. They had an ability at that. And they did very well. They made a lot of money. It's a very skilled job. It's great. But I'd like to...
I'm going to pause right there just to help you Black Trumpians out, because you probably haven't, picked up on the microaggression. I asked you, listen to what Trump said and pick up on the microaggressions and put it in the comment section. Okay? As you come in the building, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Interesting. Our Black Trumpians have not picked up on the microaggression. First of all, micro. Let's break that word down. It's small, it's tiny. You probably can't pick it up because they use it in corporate America a lot towards Black people. It's so minute, so tiny. It almost, if you're not listening, and listening is a skill, it can go over your head. Okay? They use it so they wouldn't get discrimination charges against them in corporate America. They use it everywhere, and Trump is using it here. Now, since you couldn't put it in the chat, Trump been rich all his life, brothers and sisters, boys and girls. Trump has been rich all of his life. Trump went to an Ivy League school, a school of some. He didn't go. He wasn't in your hood. Okay. If Trump went to your high school, your college, somebody let me know that lived in the hood, that lived in lower, communities. Let me know if he went to your high school, your college. He didn't. He been rich all his life. A silver spoon been in his mouth all his life. The microaggression that you miss, boys and girls, my Black Trumpians, in this speech he gave from the Oval Office. He said that I went to school with boys, some people who, they weren't the best in school, but they can fix an engine. They can fix an engine like nobody's business. They could fix. The microaggression is right there, boys and girls. Everybody that Trump went to school with, he probably knew they mamas and daddies. It's a circle, a tight-knit circle of people. He in an Ivy League school somewhere. They don't have to worry about fixing no damn car engine, boys and girls. The microaggression is he's trying to placate to you, play down to you, Black folks, Latinas. Y'all know how to fix car engines. Y'all been in the workforce. Y'all been in the auto mechanics. Because everybody Trump went to school with, they mama, daddy got some money. And they ain't nothing but children that's going to receive money from their ancestors who got it off the backs of your ancestors. That's right. What? They wasn't going to work in no auto mechanic shop. If he knew boys and girls that he went to Ivy League schools with, all they was going to do is drop out and go be like Biden's son, probably get high every day or something like that. But they wasn't going to no auto body shop. Half them folks get inheritance. Microaggressions, brothers and sisters. So I've made this point that Trump said that he wanted trade schools. Now, there have been these doggone Job Corps up and running for years and years and years. But all of a sudden, without any warning, they have been shut down. Okay? Let's go.
Department of Labor is halting operations at contractor-operated Job Corps centers across the country, and that includes the David Carrasco Job Corps Center here in El Paso. It's managed under Odal Management LLC. Now, the Department of Labor writes the decision follows an internal review of the program's outcome and structure. They go on to state the Job Corps program has faced significant financial challenges under its current operating structure. The department is partnering with state and local workforce partners to assist current students in their training and connecting them with education and employment opportunities. The Job Corps in El Paso has been open since 1970 and is a 12-acre campus on Gateway West in Lumberland that's given thousands of students an opportunity to learn a trade. It offers programs in skills such as rehabilitation technician, culinary arts, HVAC, and welding.
It gives the students an opportunity to learn a trade, right? All Job Corps campuses That's what it was. And you all heard Trump. How this not making sense? Oh, but it's making sense to me because I see the patterns. I see the puzzle pieces that they trying to align and put together. Okay? I see it. But do you? And do you Black Trumpians? Do you see it yet? How is it on one hand at the top of the year that Trump said that he wanted trades and he backed trades, but all of a sudden, not just one, brothers and sisters, all Job Corps would help, the Job Corps that help children that are on poverty level, might been having some trouble, right? Getting into jobs or making sure they don't get into more trouble. Or their parents sent them to Job Corps because they want them to, not go that way. I want to give it up once again for those parents that sent their children to Job Corps. Okay, I want to give it up. Very smart decision. Now, don't come at me and act like I don't know what I'm talking about this Job Corps. Trust me, I know that all Job Corps aren't made equal. I know what goes down in some Job Corps, just like they go down in inner city schools and poor neighborhoods. You still gonna have your wayward folks because all of them, the majority of those children were wayward. Okay? They were in trouble or on the brink. And this was giving them opportunities to learn skills, trades, so that they can go in and make money and stay off the streets. But all of them have been shut down. Let's continue.
Seems to me that the president is hell-bent on eliminating that opportunity to create equity among people in this country who've been treated discriminatorily.
Well, absolutely not. We won't discriminate against any of our American.
Well, we are, and I appreciate your rhetoric, but I'm watching what he's saying and what he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, so I think that it's really important that we collectively recognize we have an obligation to everybody.
That's right. Well,
one other question regarding these job corps. That private partner.
Here we go.
Private-public partnerships. So in each state or wherever they exist, is it a different private entity that's in relationship with the government, or is it one big?
The operators
private?
are different.
Pardon?
Operators can be different.
Are they primarily, is there any one that's really owning the majority of them?
Across the board, there has been and in this report, I think you'll get that information of exactly what's happening. But I would like my team to be able to update you in more detail so that you do fully understand.
I really appreciate it. And the last, I would like to see the study. I would like to have
Get it to your office.
And I would also understand, what is the justification for eliminating the program of whatever to older people who were punishing older people who need to work?
Well, my goal is certainly not that, but because those are subject again to litigation on the grant funding, I won't be able to specifically talk about that right at this moment. But
okay, you talk to me about how you're going to protect them, even irrespective of any kind of lawsuit against you're eliminating this particular program. What is your vision to protect those individuals of that age group who need to work?
Sure.
How you plan to
We
ensure
will
that?
fulfill the mission of the Department of Labor, and as the Secretary of Labor, I will focus on all the American workers in the continuum of the workforce. And that is the job of the Department of Labor, and we'll continue on that road. That I can guarantee.
Thank you, ma'am.
The Department of Labor seems to be hurting rather than helping. But who is the Department of Labor? Everyone who sits in the seats that have been elected under this administration is doing exactly what this administration wants them to do. Okay? Exactly what this administration wants them to do. And that is to feed the wealthy. Because there's a difference between being wealthy and rich. Y'all talk about middle class. Y'all rich folks better be worried. Right? Because your $1 million, your $2 million is going to be counted as $200. That's right. That's right. Your $1 million is $100. This current administration is trying to feed the wealthy. Wealthy means you own billions to trillions of dollars. You late. I'm sorry. I have to be the one to tell you. You're late to the game. I mean, you might can do something to try to keep your head above water. And that's rich folks. They probably can keep their head above water. But the rich folks in America are now we would used to know as the middle class. They are no longer rich above the middle class. They are the middle class. Oh, the poor? Oh, the poor is the new slaves. What you say? What you say? Yes, what I said. The poor, the folks that get up to go to work, the new slaves. They've been enslaved, been on the hamster wheel. But they about to do some damage, y'all. Y'all can't see this? And it's not gonna stop with Trump. Every elected official after him is gonna put the hammer down. Because they're trying to hold on to the little bit of time they have in this realm. Now they taking youth, because I believe Job Corps, I believe you can go, you could have gone to Job Corps up until you were like 25. If I'm not correct, you can correct me. But I believe you could have gone to Job Corps up until you were 25 years old. Like I said, children to adolescents. They have stripped that of the nation, that opportunity, that wealth, that little bit of wealth building. Little bit. Because when you've been behind for thousands, hundreds of years, baby, you complaining because people asking for help, and you've had hundreds of years of a head start. That's like a slap in the face that you have taken that little bit of inch of progress that these children and adolescents could have had by taking away that program. And from what we heard, elderly programs that working elders were depending on so that they could keep their head afloat. Oh, and you working folks are the new poor. The ones that are homeless, oh baby, that is Soylent Greens. Look it up. The homeless are not even being mentioned. That is Soylent Greens. Let's continue.
Received additional information that we have to arrange travel for all of our students for Monday. So there's a process, there is a checklist, and we're going to do everything that we're supposed to do to make sure that you have everything, that you need in safe travel back to your home. If you don't have a home, the counselors will be your point of contact. You need to notify them that you are homeless, because we have to then find other arrangements for those students that don't have a place to go. Received additional, we have to arrange for all of our students for Monday. So there's a process, there is a checklist, and we're going to do everything that we're supposed to do to make sure that you have everything, that you need in safe travel back to your home. If you don't have a home, the counselors will be your point of contact. You need to notify them that you are homeless, because we have to then find other arrangements for those students that's to go. Received additional information.
Let's listen to that one more
We
time.
have to arrange travel for all of our students for Monday. So there's a process, there is a checklist, and we're going to do everything that we're supposed to do to make sure that you have everything, that you need in safe travel back to your home. If you don't have a home, the counselors will be your point of contact. You need to notify them that you are homeless, because we have to then find other arrangements for those students that don't have a place to go.
Okay, did y'all hear that? So a lot of children, young adults, hit the thumbs up. I counted 5 people that have come to the chat that come regularly, that have not hit the thumbs up. And I shouldn't have to give this spiel every time, especially if you visit this program, this broadcast on a regular, or have just now started to hit this link and join the broadcast. I'm seeing familiar faces in the building, but the thumbs up is not moving. So I don't want to count it all as Borg. I don't want to count you as bots. But I do take note who is in the building, but the thumbs up has not moved. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up so I don't have to count you as a bot, a Borg, a NPC. Okay? Let's continue. These children, adolescents, they are, some of them, homeless that are in Job Corps. No warning, no option for preparation, thrown to the streets. And do you think, brothers and sisters, that these people, the teachers and the administration who run these centers, the Job Corps centers, who have just immediately lost their jobs? You heard this woman, if you're homeless, let them know so that they can set you up with other options. How? And with funding? They probably, as soon as they pack their office up, they will be in the wind. And the children and adolescents that just lost their opportunity to learn a trade are now adding to the population that is out of control already. They're not going to be getting a phone call. They are kicked out. No money, no food, no hotel rooms. You tell me, when people are desperate, what do desperation calls for? Anarchy. It seems as if the fires are being stoked, but you can't see it. My people perished from the lack of knowledge. Let's continue. Job Corps closed effective immediately.
The mother of a Job Corps student similarly emotional about what will happen to the students left behind.
There's plenty of kids in that building who depend on that building. They don't have nobody. Plenty of kids that don't have a parent or nobody in their family like me.
Nolan says she had to pick up her daughter from Job Corps without any notification from an official at the facility. She says the most painful part, never being allowed to help her child with her belongings.
To watch my
Student similarly emotional about what will happen to the students left behind.
Mic check, mic check. We're doing a mic check, my people, my peeps. I'm sorry for the interruption. One moment, one moment. I'm going to go ahead and do a mic check. Let's take a station break. All right. We had to do a mic check really quick, my people, my peeps. We had some interruptions, some audio interruptions going on. And so we're back. We're back in the building. We are back. Okay, so let's continue. I'm going to rewind where we left off at. They have kicked out the students in Job Corps. Even the ones who were homeless coming to Job Corps, no advance notice, no travel vouchers, no food coupons, not even a brown paperback sack lunch. You're out. And you know the staff is in the wind because they have lost their jobs talking about they going to help relocate the homeless students. No, you have just fed the monster that's in America called homelessness. Let's continue.
The mother of a Job Corps student, similarly emotional about what will happen to the students left behind.
It's plenty of kids in that building who depend on that building that don't have nobody. Plenty of kids that don't have a parent or nobody in their family like me.
Nolan says she had to pick up her daughter from Job Corps without any notification from an official at the facility. She says the most painful part, never being allowed to help her child with her belongings.
To watch my baby bring all her belongings down before what other students who were residents here was heartbreaking. That it created a domino effect. No kids in there, that aggression gonna come out some way. And all aggression gonna come out in a helpful way.
The mother of a Job Corps student, similarly emotional about what will happen to the students left behind.
It's plenty of kids in that building who depend on that building that don't have nobody. Plenty of kids that don't have a parent or nobody in their family like me.
Nolan says she had to pick up her daughter from Job Corps without any notification from an official at the facility. She says the most painful part, never being allowed to help her child with her belongings.
To watch my baby bring all her belongings down before what other students who were residents here was heartbreaking. That it created a domino effect. No kids in there, that aggression gonna come out some way. And all aggression gonna come out in a helpful way.
The mother of a Job Corps student, similarly emotional about what will happen to the students left behind.
Come on, one more time.
There's plenty of kids in that building who depend on that building.
Show you
that
right.
Don't have nobody.
I know.
Plenty of kids that don't have a parent or nobody in their family like me.
Nolan says she had to pick up her daughter from Job Corps without any notification from an official at the facility. She says the most painful part, never being allowed to help her child with her belongings.
To watch my baby bring all her belongings down before what other students who were residents here was heartbreaking. That it created a domino effect. No kids in there, that aggression gonna come out some way.
What she
And
said?
all aggression
I hope you heard that aggression gonna come out some way, in some form, and all aggression it don't come out positively. Okay. They have shut down Job Corps effective immediately, no warning to the people, to the public. Let's hear just a little something about Job Corps.
Job Corps was more than just a program. For thousands of young people, it was their shot at a better life, a place to earn a diploma, learn a trade, and find stability. Now it's closing. 99 Job Corps centers across the country are being shut down. No warning, no transition, just gone. And for the students living there, it's devastating. Some were just starting to believe in themselves. Some had nowhere else to go. This isn't just a budget cut. It's a lifeline being yanked away from kids who need it the most. Without Job Corps, many will fall through the cracks, into homelessness, into low-wage work, or worse. They were promised a second chance. What they're getting instead is a locked door and an empty future. These are the kinds of cuts that don't just affect numbers on a spreadsheet. They affect lives, real ones. And if we don't pay attention, more safety nets will vanish, quietly and without mercy. Job Corps was more...
That's right. Let's hear you all support this. I want to hear it. What's the positive to come out of this? Huh? If your behind ain't sitting on billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, you need to realize something this way comes. Okay? Something this way comes. You know, a lot of our people, and I'm speaking to melanated Black folk, and some of you, I'm trying not to, ninjas, as y'all would say. Ninjas. Y'all get a leg up, a boost up. Y'all get to sit in neighborhoods that you ain't never ventured into before. Some of y'all get a little NBA money, a little basketball money, a little football money, and you rubbing elbows with other coaches and folks that don't always have money. That's right. They always have money because they trust. They get the passed down money. Okay, estates get passed down to them. Bank accounts get passed down to them. Old money is what they call it. You new money. And some of you who ain't, up there with the folks that they like to put in our face and say, look, a couple of y'all made it. A few of y'all made it. Some of y'all that think y'all right on the cusp of being right there with the ones that they promote in your face on the television, on the YouTubes and all the social medias that give them platforms. Y'all forget where y'all came from, don't you? Y'all have forgotten where you came from. Now you ain't even made it good yet. You don't even know who's sitting in your backyard, the side of you, who hate you with a passion. That's right. But smile every time you go take your garbage out. How you doing, neighbor? How you doing? It's nice to be here. Good to see you, neighbor. Go right back in their house, son of a biatch. How did they get in this neighborhood? I'm moving. Call the realtor right now. Dial them up. We out here. They everywhere. They like roaches. But you sitting in your house. You done took the garbage out, went back in your house. You got a cup of Joe smiling. The neighbors, they so nice. And you want to be blind to the fact of what's going on in the world, the nation. Let me tell you, when stuff hits the fan, nobody's going to say, how much money do you have in the bank? You look like a nice ninja. Are you a ninja? Are you a black person? What are you? They going to say, you's a ninja. You's a doggone ninja. You's an essay. You come to rob me. There was a group of ninjas came through the block a couple of days ago. You probably a leader. You just was walking your dog. A group of them, the ones they just put out of Job Corps. They talking about they was hungry. They was looking for food. No, they came to kill us. Because they ain't got no other opportunities anymore. Desperation calls for desperate measures. That's what they said. I barely got out of there with my life. But look at you in this neighborhood walking your dog. You's a ninja. You probably set the whole thing up. When anarchy breaks out, they not gonna be trying to figure out who's the good guy, who's the not so good guy. They gonna base it off of skin color, whether you want to hear this or not. My people die from the lack of knowledge. You got folks that have been raised up to absolutely and utterly hate you. Because how can you have a president on one hand say trade schools are the way to go? I told you he been saying, talking about the industrial age. You got an old ass president up there. Ain't got no youth around him. He got another old ass rocket ship flyer that can't break the dog on firmament. That's put Memphis, Tennessee, with its plants. But y'all think just because somebody talk about his old ass, they just hate him. They don't see the light. No, you don't see the light because you're looking at the wrong light. The light that should be guiding you and the light that you should know is the Most High. That's the light that you should be looking towards. Not somebody sitting in an office that has no intentions of giving you any of their money. None. They're looking to put you in their factories. Putting you, go make some more of those Elon Musk trucks that break down and shut down every time you try to take it through the car wash and you forgot to hit the switch to tell the car it's getting washed. The whole car just shut down. The end of days car he got out here while y'all, especially y'all Black Trumpians that support Trump and Elon Musk and everything they do, they ish don't stink. He making end of the day cars. Ain't worth the money and the metal they put into it. But polluting Tennessee, Memphis. And it wants you to be so desperate out here after cutting all y'all jobs and cutting all this and cutting all that and keep cutting and keep cutting and keep cutting. Y'all don't see it because it ain't touched you yet. It hadn't got close to you yet. But it's creeping up. You're not looking at the people who are suffering because you're not suffering. But you're supposed to be looking at the people who are suffering or who are about to suffer. Yahushua didn't come down here in no gorgeous robe, in his crown. Yahushua did not come down here in this realm in his glorified body. Did not come down here to a rich family sitting high on the hill. He came to a mother, a young mother that most of you Black men and ninjas would call a 304 because she got pregnant out of wedlock. That's right. Y'all don't want to see it for what it is, but I'm going to make it plain today. Y'all want to act like y'all serve the Most High Yah, like y'all follow the scriptures, and y'all ain't following nothing but your pocketbook and your ding-a-lings. Ain't teaching the word for nothing. It's for lucre, filthy lucre. That's right. Yahushua came down here to a young, unmarried teenage mother who lived in the hood. While y'all got y'all mouths, your your mouths always put on the black woman and she ain't about none having babies out of wedlock. You're talking about your Howard Shaw's mother too. Huh? Holler back if you hear me. While you're always putting down these black women coming, bringing babies out of wedlock, getting pregnant before they get married. Well, you're talking about the one you so-called follow, the one who you got to go through him before you get to the father. You're talking about your ultimate brother was a bastard baby. That's right. Mary, his mother, a teenage mother. She was a Brenda. Keep your head up, Brenda. You went out there and got pregnant by Joseph. Yeah. Y'all don't know that. Y'all act like y'all act like Yahweh Shai. I literally came down here in his glorified body, robes gleaming, crown upon his head, and just went to banquets all day. Then went to cruise ships. On cruise ships, went and enjoyed the lovely life. That's what y'all act like. He didn't come down here to a two-family home that was already married, and it was just so perfect. And they lived in out there in California on the hill, you know, in them nice homes. No, Yahweh Shai didn't come through all that. He came through his mama, who y'all is a Brenda. Her AKA is Brenda. Brenda had a baby. Why y'all always putting y'all lips and y'all mouth negatively on black women having babies out of wedlock? His mama had him out of wedlock. We can keep it real and plain today. In the hood, her husband Joseph said, we got to make a move. He knew he was wrong touching her before her time, before they got married. That's right. He knew he was wrong. He done did the do. They about to break up out of there. He didn't want the shame to come on her. At least he was decent about that, because half of y'all break camp and then turn around and start a podcast talking about the main women y'all went in there and slept with and then broke camp from. At least he was a decent man whose parents didn't even want their marriage to go down. While y'all sit here acting like y'all teaching, preaching, and leading your people to the promised land. Looking towards folks and only lifting up folks who already got money, who already faking the funk, acting like they got it all. Green grass, house on a hill, perfect life, and miserable inside. You keep uplifting that and downplaying your own brother, the one you got to go through to get to your own salvation, who mama was a teenage pregnant girl. That's right. Y'all live in the illusion that some miracle angel, a dove came and landed on her stomach and she got pregnant. No, this baby was sanctified before he came here, just like he put some of y'all here for a mission. I keep telling y'all. Because y'all don't look up words, y'all don't look up definitions, y'all don't look up nothing. Because y'all heard her as a virgin birth. She was a maiden, a young girl. That's what that meant. Joseph laid with her. And that's why they broke out of their city and hit the road, Jack. Because he was in trouble, because he wasn't, his rich middle class family, they didn't want him to be married to the girl anyway. Why y'all always like putting y'all lips on black women? It's a pattern. It's something deep down in our soul. Okay? It's something deep down in our soul, our Akashic records. Okay? That keep having these young girls popping up pregnant, but we ain't got enough Josephs around. So while y'all noise and trying to uplift black folks, forget the ninjas. Black folks, you're supposed to be uplifting Israel. You're supposed to be leading Israel. Just like Yahweh Shai didn't come down here and was born in the ghetto. That's right, born in the ghetto. Matter of fact, he was so damn poor, his family, they was born in the stable. He was born in a stable. Hey, animals around. That's how poor he was. Ain't nobody had no room for him. They seen they was on the run. They seen they were number teenagers. And they knew it. They in trouble. No, we ain't got no room for you. No room here. Go figure it out. Get kicked out. Like they done kicked out them children out of Job Corps. We ain't got no space for you ninjas out there acting like no good ninjas. Keep it moving. Keep it pushing. Till they came to an end. With somebody, an innkeeper, who looked and said, all I got is a stable where the animals stay. You are more than welcome to go there, but I have no room in this inn. But you're welcome to go and lay and do what you need to do in that stable over there. So you got to have people in this realm that can see something. Somebody need help. And I know you've been out there doing your dirt. Because I can see you got your baby mama up on that donkey right there. Up on that donkey. And she big and pregnant. And she probably got tears running down her eyes, holding her stomach, grunting, because the baby's coming. So I know you've been doing your dirt, but I ain't got no more rooms. But go handle your business in that stable. You need people in this realm that can see still and don't judge everybody as someone is negative, is not worth saving. I'm telling you all, Yahweh Shai, once born, once able to walk, talk, went to work, went straight, started his mission. He didn't look for the wealthiest boys and girls to hang out with. He went to the church house and started preaching and teaching. He went and started flipping tables over. That's right. He had to remind his own mama when she went searching for him at 12, frantic in the streets. Where have you been? Woman, don't you know I'm about my father's business? Half of you men have forgot that you're supposed to be about your father's business. You're not even looking to see what is going on around you because you want to call it something else. You want to call it something else. Take heed to what you want to call people. Take heed to how you want to present people, your own people at that. Take heed. to not be the ones who are looking at people. You could be looking at, you could have been the one in Bethlehem passing up a teenage mother and a teenage father, and a teenage mother in the midst of her pain and her grunting and her sorrows, about to give birth. You could have been the Black folks in the Black neighborhood looking down your nose at some teenagers and considered them ninjas. Keep it pushing. We don't have any room here for you. And you passed over greatness. You passed over wealth unimaginable because you looked at them as ninjas. Be the one with your eyes open. See what is happening in the world. I'm not asking you to live in fear. I'm not asking you not to strive to be better in your life. Why would I be out here giving a podcast regarding job corps being shut down? I want you to have the best opportunities for you, whether you have done wrong, whether you're trying to get right, or whether you don't want to be on that path to have to rebuild your life. So don't get it twisted. All I'm saying is, don't be the ones who looked at a teenage couple in the lowest state that they can be in and pass them by. Be the innkeeper that saw them for what they were, but may not have had room in his house, his inn, but had a garage, had an inn, had somewhere where it's not as nice, nor is it pretty. Matter of fact, it might stink. There's animals there. There's no comfortable bed. But I don't look down at you when I see your woman is in agony. Your teenage woman, girl, maiden, virgin. That's right. Your teenage virgin, maiden. Look up the definitions of words before you get led astray. Is in agony. There's a den. There's a garage. There's a shack in the back. You may go use that. We're coming to a time where people are going to be in desperate need. Desperate need. Don't focus your life mission unless, I want to say, to build wealth in this kingdom that's falling. This is the end of its cycle. Now, I know some may take this message and not hear the words that I even spoke. You must prioritize what you are truly here for. You must prioritize your true wealth will not be able to be washed away, burnt away, stolen by thieves, Bitcoin thieves, computer thieves. For this is dust, moth-eaten. And if you cannot see it for what it is, you might need to get on your knees and pray. You might need to get on your knees and pray. You are in a time of great change. And the Most High will put people in places. I said this many years ago when I got attacked for working for a media company because I was there. I didn't realize half of the attacks came from pure jealousy because I was in a place where they couldn't understand how I got there. Just like Joseph's brothers would have never understood how he got to be next to a ruler of a land, right? After they thought they had killed him. But he was put into a place to help save his people. So don't get it twisted. The Most High already has planned out this whole play, if you will. Whom he wants to be rich and make rich will be so. Will be so. And will be there to help. Don't be the people who passed over Joseph and Mary in their time of need, in their time of struggle. We're going to recap what is going on because there's a lot of young people that are getting ready to hit the streets. They're going to be homeless. They're going to be desperate. The fire is being stoked. Before I replay 2 videos, one where Trump seemed to be happy to fund trade schools, but all of a sudden out the blue, all Job Corps, which is a major trade school entity, has been shut down. I want to say I see everyone in the chat. Thank you for stopping in. To my moderators, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you all for what you do.
I'd like to see the money go to trade schools, where people learn how to fix motors and engines, where people learn how to build rocket ships. Because, somebody has to build those rocket ships. Yeah. And I'd like to see trade schools set up, because you can take $5 billion plus hundreds of billions more, which is what's spent. And you could have the greatest trade school system anywhere in the world. And that's what we need, to build his rockets and robots and things that he's doing, and to build lots of other things. And I went to school with people. In some cases, they weren't good students. They could fix the engine of a car better than anybody I've ever seen. They could take it apart blindfolded. They had an ability at that. And they did very well. They made a lot of money. It's a very skilled job. It's great. But I'd like to see a lot of money going into trade schools. I've always felt that. And we probably found our pot of gold. And that's what's been wasted at places like Harvard, and the money's been wasted.
Department of Labor is halting operations at contractor-operated Job Corps centers across the country, and that includes the David Carrasco Job Corps Center here in El Paso. It's managed under Odal Management LLC. Now, the Department of Labor writes the decision follows an internal review of the program's outcome and structure. They go on to state the Job Corps program has faced significant financial challenges under its current operating structure. The department is partnering with state and local workforce partners to assist current students in their training and connecting and employment opportunities. The Job Corps in El Paso has been open since 1970 and is a 12-acre campus on Gateway West in Lumberland. It's given thousands of students an opportunity to learn a trade. It offers programs in skills such as rehabilitation technician, culinary arts, HVAC, and welding.
It seems to me that the president is hell-bent on eliminating that opportunity to create equity among people in this country who've been treated discriminatorily.
Well, absolutely not. We won't discriminate against any of our American.
Well, we are, and I appreciate your rhetoric, but I'm watching what he's saying and what he's doing.
Well,
so I think that's important that we collectively recognize we have an obligation to everybody.
That's right. Well, that's all.
One other question regarding these job corps. That private-public partnerships. So in each state or wherever they exist, is it a different private entity that's in relationship with the government, or is it one big?
The operators
private?
are different.
Pardon?
Operators can be different.
Are they primarily, is there any one that's really owning the majority of them?
Across the board, there has been and in this report, I think you'll get that information of exactly what's happening. But I would like my team to be able to update you in more detail so that you do fully understand.
I really appreciate it.
Received additional information that we have to arrange travel for all of our students for Monday. So there's a process, there is a checklist, and we're going to do everything that we're supposed to do to make sure that you have everything that you need in safe travel back to your home. If you don't have a home, the counselors will be your point of contact. You need to notify them that you are homeless, because we have to then find other arrangements for those students that don't have a place to go. Received additional.
The mother of a Job Corps student similarly emotional about what will happen to the students left behind.
It's plenty of kids in that building who depend on that building that don't have nobody. Plenty of kids that don't have a parent or nobody in their family like me.
Nolan says she had to pick up her daughter from Job Corps without any notification from an official at the facility. She says the most painful part, never being allowed to help her child with her belongings.
To watch my baby bring all her belongings down before what other students who were residents here was heartbreaking. That it created a domino effect. No kids in there, that aggression gonna come out some way, and all aggression don't come out in a healthy way.
The Job Corps was more than just a program. For thousands of young people, it was their shot at a better life, a place to earn a diploma, learn a trade, and find stability. Now it's closing. 99 Job Corps centers across the country are being shut down. No warning, no transition, just gone. And for the students living there, it's devastating. Some were just starting to believe in themselves. Some had nowhere else to go. This isn't just a budget cut. It's a lifeline being yanked away from kids who need it the most. Without Job Corps, many will fall through the cracks, into homelessness, into low-wage work, or worse. They were promised a second chance. What they're getting instead is a locked door and an empty future. These are the kinds of cuts that don't just affect numbers on a spreadsheet. They affect lives, real ones. And if we don't pay attention, more safety nets without mercy. Job Corps was more than just a program.
That's right.
For thousands of young...
It was more than just a program. Gone. In the wind. Well. I need you all to, think about what's truly going on in your nation. What's truly going on? When you think about what's going on, I want you to try to take away your prejudice, your racism. Because a lot of you all, even Black folks, were cheering because they really didn't know the statistics. They really didn't. They really suffered from brainwashing, a podcast that, were against the Black woman. They thought that the Black woman was the only woman on welfare, when statistics show that the majority of welfare recipients are white folk. Period, point blank. So while you got ignorant, uneducated Black folks, angry Black men, to be specific, cheering because some of these programs are a lot, not some, a lot of them are being cut because in their minds, it's the Black woman that is going to suffer. White people who feel the same way, uneducated white people, your people are going to suffer. Your roosters are coming home to roost, white people. There are going to be many of you all, much more than what you thought were on welfare. You thought it was the Black woman eating up all the welfare, all the housing, when most of you were the ones, white people. You drank the Kool-Aid. Now your nation is going to be dying. Well, all of your anger, all of your prejudices and bigoted ways and thoughts were focused on the Black woman and thinking that she was the one who was eating all the resources and the one that has been on food stamps since the dawn of food stamps were lies. That's right. Taking up all the housing programs were Black folks, lies. And not that white people had a hatred towards the Black woman. They just had a hatred towards Black skin, the tone, the melanin that you were in. All of the, systems that you thought we as Black people were supported by, it was your people. So your roosters will be coming home to roost as well. And it's sad because you can't see it. A lot of you all cannot see the unbalancing, true unbalancing of the scales have begun. I'm out, and much love.